Oh, I'm out of it. I'm totally out of it. I just pressed live, and I'm the first thought that out of my head was, what do I do next? You'd think I'd know by now, wouldn't you? Okay, good evening, everyone. Cole Hard Toronto is here. Colombia, he's answered the question already. I've been to Colombia. I was there for a month, and he reckons Colombia is the most untrustworthy country he's been to. Tell us more. Tell us more. John Atkinson, good evening. Carl D, hi Eddie, hope you're good. As good as I can be. Shane, Shane, good evening. Paul Hoskin is here, and I haven't heard from you for a while. Has it been the time difference? Thailand and whatever. Has that had something to do with it? Peter Damster, Chag, Diamond Mist, Matthew Cartwright, Mickey Barks, David Marchant, TTJ. Good evening, Eddie. John Daly. John Daly has answered the question. I'd say Brazil. How are you doing? Brazil. I've spent months in Brazil, and I rather liked it. In fact, I love Brazil. I thought the people there were wonderful, and I think really, when you come to pay your bill, that's where it becomes a little bit untrustworthy. But other than that, John Daly, how did it go, Ed? Well, I mean, as you will know if you watched the video I put out this morning. Today I had a longer awaited MRI scan. I had 6 weeks of radiotherapy, but that was more than 3 months ago. That was 3.5 months ago. So I timed my Thailand trip just to around that. So it was perfect. I I had the MRI scan today. I'll get the results in a few weeks' time. That's what they can't be any worse than what I've already been told. Things can only get better. So I'll tell you the results when I get them. It's my brain being swollen up so bad. Have I got no chance in hell of seeing 2026? I don't know. But the important thing is, the reason that I've titled this live stream, what is the most untrustworthy country you've ever been to? I don't want these live streams to be just about me, my medical problems. I want it to be about you as well. I want something to entertain you anyway, to interest you as well. So that's why in future I'll try and make a question that we can all relate to. So Brazil. Someone said Brazil. I love Brazil. I loved it, and but when you pay your bill in a restaurant, that's when I seem to recall being overcharged a couple of times. DTJ, Thailand is pretty bad. Well, is Thailand untrustworthy? I don't think it is. I think Thailand is amazingly, and one of the safest countries in the world. With the people, unless you do something deliberately dumb, even the go-go bars and are pretty safe. They don't have a rip-off culture of Eastern European countries. Thailand is one of the safest countries that I know of. I mean, last year, a couple of years ago, I think it was, I was I was in Patong Beach, which which is notoriously for scams and other things. And I was having a beer, in one of the bars on Bangla Road of an afternoon. And I don't do this very often, at least I don't think I do. But I paid the bill with a thousand baht, thinking that 1,000 was 100. I gave the waitress 1,000 instead of 100. Thinking nothing of it. But she returned it. She said, "That's 1,000 that you've given me. It's not 100." Because the two bills do look the same in certain lights. And she, I was amazed at her honesty. I mean, other places will have, pocketed the change for themselves, but she didn't. So Thailand is a really, really safe. I very, very rarely get overcharged in Thailand. Mike Richardson, he's looking to go to Colombia later in the year. Well, good luck to you. It's a beautiful country. Matthew Cartwright is here. TCJ, but Philippines ladies are the worst. I wouldn't trust the Philippines. I wouldn't trust those street hawkers who are the most aggressive street hawkers that I know of, the most persistent. I wouldn't trust the Philippines. It's all. Hasta la vista. Okay, nice to hear from you. Mike Richardson, off to Pattaya in 26 days' time. Okay, that's a good time, late February. That's really, really good because March is a good month in Pattaya. On the 7K, all right, Eddie in chat. Turkey is on my list of untrustworthy countries. There's Turkey and there's Istanbul. I mean, I had a place in Fethiye for years, and I spent a lot of time out there. And I found, the Fethiye people, the Turks that I encountered there, were generally really, really good. Not really any issues with them. And they were really, really good. But I went to Istanbul only once, for a few days, and my God, I wouldn't trust them bastards. I wouldn't trust them at all. I mean, they'll rip you off. They'll befriend you. They'll shake hands with you on the street. Hi, my friend. How are you doing? Where are you from, my friend? Where do you? All the usual questions. And when you brush them off, you see you don't know. They'll start shouting, and they follow you. They're trying to lead you into a tourist trap where you get stung for a lot of money. Oh, I wouldn't trust Turkey. Yes. Istanbul, no. Istanbul, no. Yours travelled is here. How was the scan, Ed? The scan went reasonably well. It went as well. It went, except for the needle that they put in the arm. The needle. I don't like needles. So I don't like needles. But it went well. But I'll save me judgment for the results in a few weeks. That's the thing that I'm really nervous about. Although it can't be any worse than the last results. Pizza driver, hello, nice to hear from you, Yaz. Pizza driver, hi Edward. How smooth did the operation appointment go? It went really well, and it went well. I thought the bloke who done it. I mean, he had attitude. He had attitude. Enough said about that. He was a middle-aged chap. He had attitude, but I hope he's not there next time. Dreadfully awful. Steady Eddie saw you during lockdown speaking about Cambodia. $200 is real. It's real. It's real. It's insane. Love you, mate. Oh, whatever. That's another video there. Paul Hoskin, fingers crossed, everything is okay, so you can go back to Pattaya. Well, I in my dreams, I will go back to Pattaya, but I've got that under review. I've got that under review. Andrew Hammond, I would say somewhere in Eastern Europe, like Romania, Bulgaria, and Moldova. Well, I've been to two out of those, Romania and Bulgaria. I haven't been to Moldova, but I met a Moldovan lady, and she was okay. But like Romania, Bulgaria. Well, Romania, that's notoriously untrustworthy, Romania. But I think all the untrustworthy Romanians aren't there anymore. They're in London, or they're living in London and up to no good. Bulgaria. Romania, by the way, I was there a couple of years ago, and it was great. I thought it was brilliant. Lovely country, nice people, and all that. Bulgaria, I went to Bulgaria years ago, about 20 odd years ago, and it was famously cheap then. And the thing that struck me about Bulgaria is that the women, the girls, are the most underrated beauties that I think I've ever seen. Beautiful women. But I had one incident at Bulgaria. It was at Sofia train station, and I was going to Varna on the Black Sea coast, and I was a naive traveler then. I think it was a naive traveler because it was years ago, and the taxi pulled up outside Sofia station, the railway station, and as soon as I got my luggage out of the boot, a couple of guys with them, a couple of Bulgarian guys, came up to me and they said, "Well, we'll help you with your luggage. We'll and they showed me badges. We got badges. We got badges. We're official." It's okay. So I was slow then. I shouldn't have let them because it was confusing if you don't speak the language and finding a train. You're worried about getting on the wrong train, and so I allowed them, to rush me onto. They found the train, but one of them said, "Give us your ticket," which I thought I refused. I wouldn't give them my ticket because I know that I wouldn't get it back. So, and they rushed me onto the train, and I found that this train wasn't leaving for about an hour or 45 minutes, something like that, and it was empty, and it was one of those old sleeper compartments. But I thought, well, at least I'm on the train. But then they sat down and looked at me, and I thought, okay, here we go. These two Bulgarian fellas, I was alone on the train with these two Bulgarian fellas, and yes, they started to demand money. They said 10 lev, 10, whatever that was in today's money, 10 lev. And I said, I haven't got any money. I had money in my pocket, but I was reluctant to pull it out in front of them. And one of them was, so I gave them 5 lev or whatever. But one of them said, you fucking you crazy, you crazy you are. And I felt intimidated by the two of them, but I wasn't going to pull, the amount of money out in front of them that I had in my pocket. I thought that's dangerous. So in future, But I learned a lesson from that. In future, whenever anyone approaches me and and says, "I'll give you a hand with your luggage," I say, "No, piss off." No, no, a flat, firm no. I'd rather, I'd rather struggle, rather than trust anyone. Yours travels, stay strong, be more positive, mate. Okay, fine. Thanks, yours. John, the UK. The UK, yeah, I wouldn't trust people in the UK. Farang travels. Hiya, what did you make Chris thinks about Pattaya? He wants to go back there. He wants like anyone does on the first visit to Pattaya. I mean, when you come back to the dullness of England, I mean, you just what time to reflect. He's out at work tonight, and he'll be thinking about Pattaya. He had a great time there, and we both did. Cold hard Toronto. I'm in Cali, Colombia right now. I feel like I have a target on my back. Okay. Well, I've been to Cali, Colombia. I stopped off there, and it was okay. It was it seemed all right, but as long as you don't make a stupid mistake, like I almost made made one. I walk because I have a backpack on, and I walked everywhere, and I walked under the bridge. Whoa, and I thought to some homeless people there, and one skanky young man came up to me and he said, "So no, thanks, no, mate, no." I thought these are desperate people. They could easily shoot you as well as rob you. So that's right. I mean, if you feel that way, get out of there. I lived and worked in Germany for 6 years. I think Germany is one of the most underrated travel destinations. And I like Germans. I like them, especially in their own country. I like them when you meet them in other countries as well. But I thought Germany was one of the most hospitable countries I've been to. But that was before Brexit. I don't know how they feel now. Matthew in Nevada, did you partake in any loving afternoon, mate? That's my business. Gangster, I think your country is as safe as you want it to be. Come down to common sense. Okay, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I mean, I've been to countries like Bolivia where people have said, you're absolutely, no question about it, going to get robbed. I'm Brazil, of course, and I haven't been robbed. I haven't been robbed at all. Tony King, hi, I was on the same Eva Air flight back to UK as you a couple of years ago. Where you? Okay, Eva Air is a good airline, but I was reluctant to get that this time, because they're the ones that refused me last year on medical grounds. Mark Owen, all right, Ed, I got MRI on Monday for me, Nick. Okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine, Mark. Best of luck with that. Mark's in the Navy, the Merchant Navy, and he has an enviable lifestyle. But he's had an accident on board. Hope you get well soon. Paul Hoskin, did you enjoy any soapies in Pattaya? No, too slippy for me. And if I slipped in a soapy, it would be disaster. Mickey Barcher, Thailand is absolutely fine. I know, I agree. I mean, it's not totally scam free because I've been trying to get scammed on trains, and trains and public transport and all of that. It's not totally. I'm not saying that there are angels in Thailand, but far from it. But it's as safe as you want. I've just done 3.5 weeks in Pattaya and Koh Chang, and it struck me it's one place where you can walk around any time. The real danger is the traffic there. Is the traffic. If you can overcome that, then it's a really safe country. Yours travels. Patong is pretty cheap. Bangalore beers, 70 baht all day and night. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. I agree, and the go-go bars there are wonderful. All the best-looking birds in Thailand seem to be headed to Patong after the lockdown. John Daly went out there to be a grass reduction engineer for the season. Spent 6 years there. Which yeah, oh yeah, Germany, yes, okay, fine. DCJ being scammed on the bar on the corner of LK Metro was pretty merry, but not hammered, and gave 1,000 baht. The waitress gave me change for 500, as she thought I was too drunk to notice. Well, I mean, well, oh well, that happens, mate. But always, my answer to that is that hasn't happened to me. Yeah, because when I get a big note, like 1,000, baht, I announce it. I don't just put it in the pot. I show it to the waiter so she knows quite well what I'm giving her. So I'm really like that with in Cambodia with those $100 bills which you get from the ATM. I mean, I'm not gonna give them lightly, pay bills lightly with them. I'll pay them in hotels. My hotel bill with 100 with 100, but before paying that, I'll photograph. I'll photograph the serial number of that $100 bill, and I'll hold it up. I'll read it out to the I'll announce that this is $100 bill that I'm giving you. So there's no question in her mind that I'm giving it anything less. So I make a song and dance about it, but it's worked for me in the past. Sceneries is here. Good evening. Andy Baker. I would say Romania, and in particular Bucharest. I lived and worked there for over a year, and you had to keep your wits about you at all times. I was in Bucharest. I'll tell you what. I was in Bucharest a couple of years ago, and the thing that you'd have to watch out for is the obvious thing. If you're a single man, there will be women trying to. There'll be women trying to lead you into a tourist trap in that main high street where the bars are. That's I mean that's they tried to do that with me. It was this blonde one. I was sitting outside, having a kebab and a beer or whatever. And this blonde girl come up and she gave me a spiel about I'd take you to I take you to a bar and, the first drink's free. No, I wouldn't entertain it. I just let it talk and I carried on with my, I wouldn't entertain it. But many guys would. Many guys would have had that happen. I noticed that, there was a couple of big Romanian guys hanging around, and I figured that they were minders. I mean, if she's ripped anyone, if she's led anyone to a tourist trap and there's comeback on her tomorrow, the following night, and she's there doing a business. Those two minders are there to protect her, to interfere, make sure no angry punters, make a comeback on her. So if you fall for that, then Cold hard. I'm looking forward to Medellin. Cali is good for 3 or 4 days. I like Medellin. I went there as well. I want to retire 2nd of March. Okay. Tony, okay, that's March is a good month in Pattaya. It's Thailand. The weather's the weather's still good. That's before the rainy season. Frank, for Brazil, my wife is Brazilian. We were there in October to file paperwork. It was a rip-off what they were charging, and having to go from from office to office. Really, well, you obviously know the country better than I do, but I traveled through Brazil, and I found the Brazilian people were all right. Kiki and Tasman, Nakino Airport in 2015. Okay. Your travels will be in Pat's first week of March, then hitting Koh Larn, Koh Samet, then head down south. Okay, that's really great. That's great. I'm glad that you've recovered. I mean, I'm not the only one who's ill here. Other people have, got medical problems. But good to know that you're traveling again, yours. Going with Dan. Did you see Def Carter? Well, I believe he was there at the same time as he was, but he was. But I did see him this time. All right. Now, is this a tasteful profile pic or profile name? Is this tasteful? You decide. I was the scranhead. I think you mean scan. I think you mean I mean scran. That's food where I come from. Dead Sweeney, and there you go. That speaks for itself. True nature to some people. Nom Ya Inspector. Good evening, Eddie. Okay, good evening to you. David, Ed, when's the next trip to Thailand? Nothing planned yet. I need to know where to stand with the medical issues. But nice to hear from you. Mickey Barcher, Ed, you're looking well. Those 3 weeks with a real tonic. Okay, thank you. Mike Richardson, Jamaica is said to be bad in the wrong place. Yes, I believe. That's not a country I've been to, but I know what you mean. Oh, lemonade I'm drinking tonight. Donald Trump is here. I'll put your good evening, Mr. President. Okay, how are you? Prawns, okay, you should open an online store. I think I'm at my stage in life. I'm not ambitious anymore. I'm not about to invest in anything. You know, Gangsam. Have you tried Malta? It's lovely. Never been there. There's a guy who there's a guy Englishman in Malta who makes videos there. So, and he's got a very, very good channel. Kebabs. Good evening. I'm not laughing at you, Kebabs. I'm laughing at the person who's made comments around you. He's going to get blocked soon. Good evening, Kebabs. How are you? Nice to hear from you. Oh, he doesn't give up, does he? Oh, God almighty. Some people just make you laugh, you know, even if it's sick humor. Gong of Zulia. That sounds like a monster movies. Gong of Zulia. Hello, Archie. I'm hoping the scam result will be okay. So am I. I love those golf bar girls, but I always end up in the rough. Okay. What happened with the MRI? I had that first thing this morning. I turned up and waiting for the results. Scott, hello, Scott. How are you? Martin Ryder, how did the MRI go? Well, it went predictable well. You know, it was I was in and out within an hour. But I had, you know, the thing that I was dreading was this needles. I hate needles. I hate them. They put a cannula in my hand. He said the guy. He said, "You're not very veiny, are you? You know, you haven't got good veins." I thought, well, what did he mean by that? But it went okay. But will the results go okay? I'll get those in a few weeks. Shinsekai. Oh, okay. Yo, Eddie, legend. Were you in Japan and do you like the country? That's a country that I've never been to. The reason I've been there because I've heard that it's notoriously expensive, and I don't tend to go to expensive countries. Yeah, okay. But I would love to go. I mean, my favorite comment about travel came from that DJ, John Peel. He once said that the country that he always wanted to go to was Japan because he felt that Japan was as close as you could get on planet Earth to feeling like you're on another planet. And when he went there, he said he really did feel like he was on another planet. But you know, I've never actually made it to Japan. Brixton, too many dark corners. Mike Richardson, okay. Stringer, Eddie is on every day, twice a day. No, not exactly. West Africa was the hardest place West Africa was the hardest place to travel. Yeah, I've been to the only country I've been to in Africa is Ethiopia. I spent a month traveling through there, and I must admit that That was an untrustworthy. The touts were a real hassle. That's got the most persistent touts. I mean, one of them came to the hotel where I was staying because he brought me there, and and they gave him my room number. He came knocking on my hotel room, to harass me about about some trip that they had planned. Oh, Jesus, God Almighty! No, I haven't seen that. I've heard of them. Philip Mulville, Roger or Dodger. Roger or Dodger. I've said this before, but that divided people. Some people loved it, and some people switched off. Yours Travels lived in Mexico City in my early 20s, which was an eye opener and couldn't be dealing with Colombia. Thailand is safer than the UK. Well, I agree with it with that last sentence. Thailand is safer than the UK. Matthew Navarro, do you think Vietnam is safer? It's safe, but it does have pockets. It has pockets that have that are really, really iffy. I mean, when I first went to Hanoi about 20 odd years ago, I felt that was everyone was trying to scam you there. But when I went there a few years ago, they've cleaned up their act. They have cleaned up the act. But the Vung Tau, which is a little resort for expats, that is there's some really, really plush bars there, and there's some kind of wealthy expats there who live there. But there's these motorbikes that go around. If you stack around one of those bars at night time, especially if you're wearing jewelry or whatever, they'll mount the pavement and rob you. And you may come out of your at one of those bars and see that your hotel in the distance. You might think that you'll walk there, but I've heard of people being robbed there, so that can be quite dangerous. There's pockets of Vietnam that are not safe. Ricky Travels, the older you get, the more of a target you are. Really? Is that because you can't run very fast? Aussies World. I just came back from Brazil. The people are fantastic and friendly. I had zero problems in Brazil. Me too. I never had any problems. And I thought that people. I agree with you. That was my experience as well. I've been a couple of times. I've travelled all through Brazil, right the way through, and yeah, bang on. That was my experience. Eddie third boot cycle, yeah. Well, now that I'm back here, now that I'm back here, I was thinking about that. I mean, I'm looking for things to do, but I hope I don't slip back into Netflix and Amazon the way I did last time. But that'll come about, eventually. But I may find a different format to. I may find a different format to publish that one. Frank 47. Actually, I go to Brazil almost every year, and it's a great place, but it's very bureaucratic. I love Brazil. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Well, Olski, any old speckled hen in Pattaya, mate. I don't know. I've never had that there, but I can imagine that that's quite expensive because it's an import. Funnily enough, I had a speckled hen this afternoon in Weatherspoons, but but it was warm and it wasn't as good as I prefer it chilled. Somehow speckled hen tasted better when I used to drink it in cans. Taxi to Laos, Bogazar, Colombia. The locals told me to go back to the hotel as soon as it started to get dark. But I met many good people too. In Salento, okay, that's fine. All right, that's yeah. I haven't been to Bogota. I've been to Cali, Medellin, Cartagena, and other places. And I found the dodgiest place in South America that I went to. I went to 6 countries in South America. The dodgiest one was Ecuador. I mean, that was a beautiful country, but dodgy as hell. That's the one where that South American thing where they spray something on your back or they splash something, something vile on your back. And then people offer to clean it off for you, and that's when they come out of nowhere and try and rob your backpack. Well, that almost happened to me. Somebody did splash, something on my back, but I remembered what I read in the Lonely Planet guide about that. So I quickly crossed the road. I'll just let it drip, and these people followed me, but I didn't entertain them, and I cleaned myself down. So. But that was in Ecuador. Tommy Traveller, I have no trust in the tuk-tuk drivers in Bangkok. Well, they're for tourists, aren't they? I mean, it's a lot of people do believe that the tuk-tuk, that's the cheaper form of getting around in Bangkok. But taxis is so much cheaper. Yeah, I mean, air conditioned taxis, but. It's good going in a tuk-tuk for the experience of it, but never again. Steve Williams, got good subject. India got ripped off at money change at airport after a long flight. Another time, I had bags stolen behind there. The trains took off a station again after a long flight. Yeah, I've been to India, and what? Did I get robbed there? No, but the other thing what people told me about the Delhi belly, that was true. Philip Mulville, Eddie, you said that in Colombia they poured a liquid on your backpack and offered to help you. No, that was Ecuador, Quito, and Ecuador. Quito was quite notorious. I've heard a lot of people having their bags slashed in Quito, but that was a dodgy place at Ecuador. And another place, a smaller town in Ecuador. When I came out of a restaurant at night time, and my hotel was the hotel I was staying in was just a couple of blocks away, so I thought I'd walk. But one of the waiters could come running after me. He said, amigo, get taxi, $1. See those fellas there waiting there on the end of the road. I could see some guys who were just waiting, rob you. In other words, they'll hold a knife to your throat and rob you. So he was warning me about that. So I got a taxi back, and I was glad that I did because I'm one of those people. I've done it in small towns in Colombia and Brazil and everywhere. I'll walk around at the night time. Everywhere, but the thing is, I don't carry jewelry with me. I never wear jewelry or anything like that, and don't carry much money and all that. But sometimes you can push your luck too far. Mike Richardson, if you pay a bill in baht, let them know it's 1,000 baht note. Okay. Ricky Travels video the large money transactions. Okay, okay, will do. London Sun, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. I'll have it cleared out every now and again. I have a page. London cab Thailand. I got robbed in France. Really, I've been to France. I mean, France is the closest country to where I am now. But it's not really. I've been up the Eiffel Tower and walked through Leon, but France, I haven't been. It's not a country that I know really well. But an island, a Spanish island, Gran Canaria. I remember would be, they would shortchange you there with because they had the peso notes then, and taxi drivers and whatever was so untrustworthy. Even when you're buying souvenirs, people would, people would shortchange you there in Gran Canaria. Sweeney Monger. I got robbed in Liverpool. Oh, you'd have to laugh. Right now, how's the appointment go, Eddie? Opal as well. Opal as well. Yeah, it went well. It went well. The MRI scan. But will the results go well? They didn't last time. Gangster, Thailand has changed. Romanian minders. Oh, really, really, really. Dennis Stoikov, beware of currency exchange rip-offs in Goa. Gongov, some bugger nicked me shoes in Egypt. Of course, not everyone has a tea leaf. Okay. Andrew Hall, hope you get back to learn to smile. Smiles. I do too. Thanks anyway. Thanks, Andrew. Mick, I remember when you were binging on the Diet Ginger Ale. Oh, I was gobsmacked today. I think the worst part of that appointment this morning was when I stood on the scales, 16 stone. I mean, where did that come from? Last time I was, if I put on weight maybe I put on weight in Pattaya, but 16 stone. That's almost back to my peak. Body weight. I think I'll lose a bit of weight from now on. I've done it before, but because I'll be doing it. I'll be doing a strict diet. I'm going to review my whole eating program. Mike Christian, so who's going to retire in early March? Okay. Leeds is here. Good evening to you, Leeds. Good evening, Lee Perkins. Good to see you on live tonight. What did your mate Chris think of Pattaya? He loved it. He's been to Cambodia and Vietnam before, but never Thailand. So it was his first time in Pattaya, and he loved it. He wants to go back. What's Ubi? Eddie, have you been able to work on book 3 anymore? No. The thing is, you know, when I had that phone call, you know, since I had that phone call, that doom and gloom phone call, which I don't really want to talk about. You know, it's you know, my mind can't function, you know, the way that it used to. Michael Janaeus, good evening, Eddie. Hope all goes well. I would say Kenya was not very safe for a white guy. You always a target. Okay, that's fine. I mean, you know, in Ethiopia, they said, you know, you can walk around in the nighttime in Ethiopia, but next door, Kenya, you simply can't do that. Michael Janaeus, I would add South Africa too. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. David, Ed leaving end of March for Thailand. Oh, that's good. That's good. Good luck to you. Tokyo was pretty pricey. London and NYC prices. Tokyo was pretty pricey. London and New York City prices. Okay, fine. I wouldn't entertain expensive places. Dred Sweeney, that Ting man, you coming to Rastabar Ko Chang for Reefer Man and Chang in it? Okay. I'm so sure you'll lie awake all night thinking these up. Men at Work, Bangkok. Vietnam is scam central. Only if you allow yourself to be scammed. If you get involved in, I don't get involved in anything which you know. I don't get involved in scams, so I wouldn't know about that. Kipper, oh, I've missed a legend, Lisa Dale. Okay, glad someone has. Dennis Stoikov, is Siam Reap and Campot safe? Yeah, it's safe. I mean, Campot, I've only been there once, but the most hair-raising bit when all these skanky Cambodian fellas who came up to me and offered to help him with me luggage or whatever. But yeah, Campot was safe. Campot was safe. But you know, Siam Reap is very, very safe. I mean, I've been there many times, unless you get followed back to your hotel by a ladyboy like I did. That is one place where you do have to watch out for the ladyboys. Mick, have you been in Da Nang? Is it okay? I was in Da Nang about 5 or 6 years ago, and it was okay. It was okay then, but I hear now that it's better than it was because you know, you know, it's I heard that it's better now because they've completed most of the building work. It's really good reviews. Martin Ryder, Vong Towers, where Gary used to live. Yeah, down with him. We don't allow shiny clothes and platform boots on here. Dred Sweeney, you need some proper drink, man. India, hands down. No prices on anything. Locals trying to take you for a ride and very questionable public bathrooms. Okay. Bangkok Seagull always felt safe walking around the cities of Thailand in the early hours. Wouldn't step foot outside the UK in early. Yeah, that sounds about right. Bobby Crush. I was mugged on my holiday. I've only been there for 2 hours. I'd only been there for 2 hours. Lost an iPhone, wallet, watch, and laptop. That's the last time I go to Liverpool. Oh, love it, Bobby. Scott, the two countries I had problems with were Turkey, trying to pull you in at every restaurant and shops. Yeah, I mean, they have a man standing outside the restaurant. I mean, what I don't like is even if they haven't, if you stop to have a glance, somebody comes running out and trying to make conversation. Mate, I don't want conversation. I want to know what your what your menu is. I hate it. I hate that when people come running out and hi, my friend, where are you from? And, shake hands with you. It's a restaurant that I admire most in Hisaranu in Turkey, a resort there, is a restaurant which had a sign outside on a blackboard which said something like, we have a good reputation to maintain. We are highly rated on TripAdvisor. We don't need a man standing outside to ask you where you're from and shake hands with you and coach you inside. We don't really need anything like that. And no, that's the kind of restaurant that I'm likely to go in. So yeah, they're happy. They're really persistent. Like, it gets on your nerves. I mean, the number of times I get asked where I'm from when I'm in Turkey. Martin, did you make it to Curry Club today? No, I was there too early. I had a breakfast in Wetherspoons, and I wasn't really impressed with it. I only ate half of it. I wasn't really. Maybe it's me, but English breakfast don't do it for me anymore. Funny Wogo, Vietnam lubed it up pretty good for being untrustworthy. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, but it doesn't have to be. Scott, a second was Malaysia. Went to Twin Towers on the way back. No taxi was take us back to the hotel. 3 couple. What's the problem? Really? I mean, I went to those the Petronas Towers, but I walked there because I was staying in the hotel nearby. Greg Basnight. Okay, good evening, Greg. Scott, I now have a Thai wife and hotel plus family. I don't miss those Muslim countries. Issues with you. Okay. But Bobby, because as they said to the England cricket team, if you can't get the runs in India, where will you get them? Bobby Crush on good form today. Scott, I'm now happy with Thailand, Cyprus, Greece. Good choice. I've never been to Cyprus, but the Greek islands, wow, beautiful, beautiful. And Thailand, yeah, nowhere like it in the world. Fintan O'Brien, Lagos, Nigeria. Well, what you'd expect. Mark, you said you had a dodgy experience in Barrio Beretta and Suba. Yeah, I had, I felt that wasn't safe to walk around them at night time. That's it. I got to like that place, but but that's it. But I did have it. The Philippines, the street hassles, are the worst that I've encountered in Southeast Asia. Jesus, I hate to say it, but being in Bangors 2 nights now, took the iPad to the crap of listening to you. Feel bad, mate. I flew business class. Okay. Oh my God. There's some witty comments going in here. Fintan O'Brien, Rio de Janeiro is amazing. Don't believe what people have said who've never been there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you'll get robbed in Rio. How do you know that? Me mate's been there. Jesus. I heard some exaggerated stories before I travel around South America, and not one of them was first-hand experience. It was always me mates being there, me friends, cousins being there, me aunties being there. Vietnam, the locals know foreigners are confused with all the and all the notes on their belts, and some of them will scam you on the change. Okay, fine. Bobby Crush, France is very dangerous. My granddad said when he was there, the loads of Germans were trying to shoot him and his mates. Oh, Bobby, you should be a stand-up comedian. I mean, you probably were a stand-up comedian. Well, my parents were locked in a shop and forced to buy in Egypt, treated like dirt, pay more for a holiday in a country you're welcomed in. I've heard that about Egypt. I've never been to Egypt, but I have heard that. Eddie, Finno Brand, Eddie, do you like white toast with real butter? Yes. Paul Hoskin, I will contact you, Ed, on the results. I've got an appointment in about 2 or 3 weeks' time to see the consultant, and and that's when I'm expecting the results. I mean, will he say? Will he be smiling? When I see the consultant when I walk in, or will he be shaking his head in doom and gloom? Oh, I'm dreading what they got to tell me. So let's see. Okay, so okay, so okay, I think I'll end the stream here. It's I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll run some of these comments because I've gone over an hour now, and I'll run some of these comments, but I'll do it over over this over